Beautiful job in Hawaii, Commander. I know you have your heart set on seeing the beach at Waikiki, but we have new business in St. Louis.
The heart of Missouri is now the beating breast of all our ground control operations for the country. We'd be in sorry shape without her. The problem is that Yuri and his psychic corps have dropped another psychic beacon in the town.
I never wanted to send you in against our own citizens. But those psychic beacons are turning upstanding Americans into Soviet-controlled killers. Move fast, move wisely. And try not to hurt any of my constituents. All right?
Unfortunately, you may have to. Tanya's strike team is in place and standing by, but we can't tell how long they can go before the beacon takes its effect on them. One moment, Commander.
Oh, she's not kidding, Commander. If we don't move fast enough, we'll all become slaves to Romanov and his slime ball Yuri. Do you understand what I'm saying? There's nothing worse for a soldier than losing her mind. I'm trusting you.
Establishing battlefield control. Stand by. Battle control online.
I've got the knowledge.
Welcome back, Commander.
I have the tools. I won't be late.
So this is what it's like to be in a world without Twitter.
Anytime,
On
boss.
my way. I've got the knowledge.
Show me
Got the
the
knowledge.
way.
Moving out.
Show me the way, baby.
Honestly, I'd probably still take this world. If the objective wasn't immediately obvious, you have a time limit, and if that time limit reaches 0, you lose. So don't let Tanya get converted.
You got it. Show me the way.
Now, you could go through this level in a couple of different ways. There's one that's more dangerous, the bridge, and then one that's less dangerous, as far as I know anyways. Just take the bridge, it's much easier.
How about a target?
It is possible for some units to try and get onto the bridge from where you started, and at least in one prior unused recording, there were some dogs that chased me the entire way.
I have the tools.
I'm just glad that they didn't target the engineers, really.
Got an order. On my way.
Yes, sir.
I guess it should also be mentioned that the engineers aren't necessary. It's just kind of a bonus thing if you really wanted to.
How about some action? Show me the way,
Oh.
baby.
I don't think she was armed, but
I won't be late.
alright.
Show me the way. On my way.
Need a repair?
How about some action? Moving out, boss.
I've got the knowledge. I won't be late.
I'm a little disappointed that the explosions didn't take out these power reactors as well, but
Need a repair? Need a repair? Studying blue.
Show me the way.
in a way, I guess it's an excuse to give you the ability to capture the beacon
Moving out, boss. Locked and loaded.
I've got the knowledge.
and be able to power it like immediately, but it's not really going to work out that way. Oh, and despite it looking fine, you can't actually walk between the stadium and the wall. There's just not enough space for some
Structure
reason.
abandoned.
On the move. Ready. Double time.
Where's the party? Take it, baby.
I have the tools. Orders. Hooah! I've got the knowledge right here. The plans are right
Moving
here.
out.
Building captured. Primary objective achieved.
On the move.
Structure sold.
Sadly, you can never keep the psychic beacon.
Unit lost.
Kind of a wasted opportunity, I
Got
would
an order.
have to say.
Reinforcements have arrived. Unit lost.
Oh, and I was trying to be cheeky here by keeping one of the reactors.
Unit lost.
If only because it gives me power, but also because, and why I'm not destroying any of the defensive structures, is because I was assuming that the main base
Incoming
would
transmission.
be powering both locations. Sadly, that's not the case,
Commander,
so
I think
you're
you're gonna
better
like
off
this
just
one.
destroying those things.
It's Einstein's prism tech on wheels. Boys at the lab call it a prism tank. Careful not to burn yourself.
How about some action?
And we get a new unit again. This time the prism tank.
On our way, sir. Ready, on my way.
Allied ship.
We'll be seeing more and more of it as the campaign goes on.
Okay,
It's an interesting vehicle, and, well, we'll see it in action shortly anyway, so.
New construction options.
As always, with amphibious transports, I don't really care for keeping them, and as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing important on the water, so I'm just not going to bother keeping them.
Construction complete.
Yes, sir. Securing position.
orders.
Unit lost. This soldier is equipped with a nuclear battlesuit. He can irradiate large patches of ground, making them impassable to infantry or light vehicles.
What should I go?
Building. New construction.
Alright, so if you
options.
didn't get the explanation there, and if you thought that that unit was only going to show up in skirmishes, sadly you're wrong. The Desolator is one of the unique units that's technically only available to a specific group or faction within the Soviet forces. But we'll get more into that as I end up eventually showing off the skirmish stuff. Needless to say, the Desolator is actually a really interesting unit in that it's more of an area denial / anti-infantry unit than it is anything else. So the basics are that the Desolator does a pretty good job at dealing with infantry, and if chosen to do so, you can deploy it. And when you deploy it, everything in an area gets, well, irradiated. And if you have any sort of infantry like moving around in there, they're kind of doomed, regardless of what you want to do with them. Now, it's very easy to cheese this mission, sadly. I'm not specifically sure what I might have broken,
Construction
but there's
complete.
these two buildings
Structure
up there
garrison.
to the north of the Soviet base
New
that
construction options.
honestly will never come under serious fire by the Soviets. And that last power reactor, I don't have enough vision on it. Yeah, normally you can reach it and destroy it. Now, the amazing thing is that destroying the battle
Construction
lab
complete.
produced one infantry. That infantry can't get across the
Building.
sandbags
Low power.
that surround the battle lab, or Soviet battle lab, which means that it can never get out, meaning the AI can never build a structure there. So they no
Training.
longer have access to higher tech units, which is great.
What should I do? What should I do?
And also, for some reason, the AI just never decided to rebuild some of those power plants.
Construction complete.
The idea is that you can
Unit
kind of
ready.
just constantly destroy whatever it builds and
Unit ready.
make it waste resources
Building.
and time and all that.
Building. On hold.
It, again,
Building.
kind of made this mission a lot easier. Normally,
Unit
the
ready.
Soviets will send a lot of tanks and terror drones and
Unit
other
ready.
units your way to
New
just
rally point
try to
established.
destroy your miners and your
Unit
base and all
ready.
that.
Pilot reporting.
Kind of a good idea just to invest in some prism towers, build a nice line of defenses, and all your
Unit
units that you
ready.
start with, you should just preserve them. There's no sense trying
Unit
to
ready.
throw them away early,
Construction
especially
complete.
since they're just kind of hard or time-consuming
Cannot
to
deploy to.
replace them.
Unit ready.
And I say this as someone who, unfortunately, I
Building.
lost the first time because I
New
threw some units
construction
away
options.
and didn't
Building.
somehow bug out the AI,
Unit
and,
ready.
well, the rest is
Unit
history,
ready.
really.
Fired up.
Where's
Yeah?
the party? Anytime, boss.
What should I do?
Insufficient
Now,
funds.
problematically, you have to keep Tanya alive for
What should
this
I do?
mission,
I'm going.
and
What should I do? I'm going.
Tanya,
I'm
I feel,
going. This is
doesn't
scary.
do too well in certain
Unit
circumstances. Namely, like building,
What should
base
I
building
do?
missions. Because if you lose her, there's game over, and
What should I do?
Um,
Okay. Yeah.
how do I put this? She's tough to protect against a smart AI when that AI has terror drones, because they're kind of one-hit kill versus infantry.
All fired up. Over.
You know, against vehicles, you can kind of hope that maybe she runs away a little bit, or, you know, she can stretch it out a little bit, but you don't have medics, and yeah, it's just dangerous.
I'll take the high road. They won't see it coming.
Also, the way that this Soviet building or base is built,
Got it.
they have both their refineries outside of their base. which I'm
Unit
kind of curious
promoted.
as to why it's the case, but hey, you know what? I'll take the free kills.
Riding high. Pushing away. Clear out the place. Right to the sky. Place high. Yeah?
Unit ready.
What should I do?
Construction complete.
Council got a clear
Unit
view, sir.
ready. Unit
So prism tanks have pretty good range, and not the best, obviously, but pretty good nonetheless. And whenever it attacks a target, it immediately will split into, I think it's random, I think it's between 3 and 6 different sub-targets. Basically, the beam just kind of splits and then does an AoE effect, which is fantastic because, I mean, against clumps of units, the prison tank is just great. It's not all that great on defense, but honestly, it packs enough of a punch that you don't generally have to worry about that too much.
We're going
Ready
in.
to soar.
And obviously, because I mean, if I'm already destroying most of their stuff,
construction complete.
let's just
Unit lost.
do the cheesy thing.
Ignite boosters. All fired up. The high road. Fuel tanks. What should I do? I'm going.
Building. New construction options. Building.
What should I do?
Unit ready.
Scary.
It's interesting and probably worth mentioning that the terror drones, when they get into a unit, especially the chrono miner, we've seen it time and time again. When the chrono miner, at least in this video, when the chrono miner actually teleports back to its refinery, the terror drone just kind of sits there.
Here's the party.
So it's helpful if you have a unit just lying around that can
Unit
easily one-hit KO it.
Construction complete.
Oh, and yeah, I don't know
Unit
if I ever
lost.
mentioned it, but
Low power.
the Tesla infantry, or
Building.
God, I'm forgetting their name all of a sudden.
Building.
They can be
Unit
used to
promoted.
charge at buildings. So them being low power is not exactly something to worry about too much as the Soviets.
Scary.
Not like in Red Alert 1 anyways.
Unit lost. Unit ready.
Yeah.
Construction complete. Ore miner under attack. Unit lost.
Never had a chance.
I see him. What should I do? Destination.
Unit
item
lost.
so drag.
Unit ready.
Scary.
Ore miner under attack. Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Commencing assault.
Channel clear. Instruments locked on. Pilot reporting.
Unit ready.
Have
Now, Tesla troopers don't, or at least I don't believe can power up flat guns. Unless I'm wrong, I'll have to recheck that. But as always, defeat all the buildings, kind of just run back or take them out methodically, and you win. And because you should use Tanya to just take out all the defensive structures here, because it's just a little time consuming for no reason.
Mission accomplished. Unit ready.
I forgot to take out the arch. The arch might have actually had a special comment.